friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Trina. Today's video is going to be us picking out my 20 books that I am hopefully going to read for Q2 of 2025. I do have a prompt jar here for us in order to help us choose the 20 books. I tend to do 20 books actually for each quarter of the year. It's not necessary that I am going to complete all 20 in the 3 months that the quarter has, but I tend to want to have that sort of collection or choices for each of the month. And some of the choices that I have, I tend to add like my 25 in 2025 books, some books that will contribute to reading goals that I have set out for myself for the year, and those sorts of things. Very quickly, I would like to show you guys what Q1 looked like beforehand. So I am filming this actually at the second week of March, and there are still a lot of weeks or like days left before the end of Q1. I do have prompts here in my jar that tells me to carry over a book or 1 or 2 books that are from the Q1 TBR. Some prompts here would make me go through like it's 26 before 2026 here because I made a mistake while I was writing the title, but it was supposed to be like 25 books in 2025. I think the only thing that I added that is different from my other 25 in 2025 list was The Housemaid, I believe, and that's like the only book that's different between the two lists that I have for the 2 notebooks that I have. But in any case, we are going to be picking out 20 prompts in this jar, and then we're going to build our Q2 TBR. And for the colors, I actually wanted, like, one of my goals for 2025 is to complete reading series that I am currently ongoing, or like I'm currently reading. And these are like the series that I have as of the moment. Some of them don't have, like, for example, the Hierarchy as well as the Villain series. They still don't have the continuation, but some already have their continuations. So what I want to do is to actually knock out a few of these, especially like the Letters of Enchantment, the Divine Rival series. I also would like to finish Mistborn this year if I am able to. And some of the series that I could possibly knock out in like a month or 2, so that it's going to be part of like the reading goal. It will contribute to the reading goal that I have to finish. I believe it was 10 series this year. I actually forgot. I didn't write it down here, which is weird. But in any case, I would like to pick out 10 that are of the white color paper. Those are the prompts wherein we are going to pick out series specific books. The purple ones are specifically books. I can't remember if they are like parts of series or not. I forgot the ones that I wrote down, but they are specific books. And then the green ones are prompts wherein I could choose standalone books if I wanted to. So yeah, those are the prompts that we're going to pick out for today. I do have the page prepared already. I was pretty much in the mood to create a spread of some sort, so I got it all purple and sparkly because I bought new watercolors, and I got the sparkly watercolors, so I got them in purple. And the reason why I chose purple, because I do have like, this is just a pen body from Miniso, I guess I bought this, but the inside is actually a violet Muji 0.5 gel pen, so it was like purple ink like this one, so I chose purple and gold for our Q2 as well as the April setup. So we're going to talk about the April TBR once we get there. So we're going to just focus on this video to build our TBR for Q2. Okay, we shall begin with the first draw. I probably am going to draw the 10 series first so that I could get them out of the way. I do have 15 prompts here for the series, and I'm just going to choose 10 of the 15. So we're going with this one first to start off our TBR. It is the oldest series in your TBR. Okay, so when I was making these prompts, I actually was looking through the series tracker that I had, and I specifically wrote the oldest TBR, oldest series in your TBR to be the Firebird series. So I am hopefully going to finish the series. The Firebird series is a YA sci-fi romance wherein our main character is following one of her love interests to a parallel world after like a sort of incident that happened. Her parents are scientists studying parallel worlds and traveling towards these parallel worlds, and big companies are trying to get the information, the science behind it, and there is romance there. And I'm on the third book, which is Million, what do you call that? So it's A Million Worlds with You by Claudia Gray, and this has been with me quite a while already. I believe it's more than 10 years since I read the series, and I did read the first two last year in order to like, I do have physical copies of the first and second book. I did not have the copy of the third book because I was quite upset with, you know, the way books are published, that the first two books are like completely identical and then the third book is a bit or like a lot shorter compared to the other two. So I did not buy the third book, and I also did not read the second book since I believe 2015 when it was published, or like, was it 2015? But anyhow, it was 10 years ago. And finally, I hope that I'm able to just finish with the series and be done with it. I'm going to keep my notebook at an angle. I do write at an angle, so I hope you don't mind, but I decided to just write the title and then the prompt that we got so that I could remember what prompt it was. Okay, second white paper. We're going to pull out this one. It is, start a series. So, to start a series, I have a few options. Let me go through with the options. So I have two options. One option is A Dark Vault, which is a collection book of The Archive by V. Schwab. It is a book that I bought from a recent trip. I saw it on the shelves, saw that it was a collection book of two books in the series, and then the light novel or the novella, the novella that is part of the series, and it was on sale. So I love V. Schwab. I wanted to read all of her backlist, and I decided, why not just buy this collection book? And if I am to read that collection book, I am going to read through the whole series in one go, probably. And another option is The Titan Cub by Robert Jackson Bennett from the Shadows of the Leviathan series, wherein it's like a murder mystery, I guess, series, and I heard good things about this, and it is also part of my 26 books before 2026 list. And thinking about it, A Dark Vault, I know that one of the prompts that I have in this is to read a book by your favorite author, and V. Schwab is my favorite author, so I might reserve that book for that prompt. However, there's also middle grade, or like young adult, was it young adult or middle grade, book series by V. Schwab, which is the Cassidy Blake, the Ghost Stories series. I might also do that. I don't know, not sure. And also there is a prompt here for a physical book that I might end up using that The Dark Vault as the book. So for this prompt, being start a new series, I'm probably just going to go with The Tainted Cup. I don't know when the second book of the series is going to be up, but I know that this is going to be a trilogy, and the second book is coming up April 1st, actually. So if I manage to like the first book, maybe I'll read it in April and then continue with the series. Who knows? We'll see. So we're going to pick out our third prompt from the white papers. We have series with short books. So I already have another book series that I have in mind when I wrote this prompt, and it is the Fazbear Fright series. I am at, I forgot, what number am I now? And I really actually want to finish the series out. I am at book 11 of 13. So book 11 is Prankster. This is by Scott Cawthon and various other authors. If you don't know, Fazbear Frights is an AFK book of the Five Nights at Freddy's series. Canonically speaking, I don't know if it's canon or whatever, but it helps with the story, with the lore of the games. And I just like going through the different stories. And I did have a reading blog, just reading through the first 8 of these books in a 24-hour reading blog, and it was painful because the stories in this are like fairly similar in like tone and endings and tragedy. The adults suck, the teenagers also kind of suck, the kids are like being favored, and a lot of like sibling like sibling related and also father-son related relationships, and it's so hard to just binge read all of them. So I'm trying to slow down my pace in reading these. I was hoping to read like at least one book per month maybe, and maybe April is the time to do that. Who knows? It's 3 short stories in one book and then an extra chapter at the end. I do not read the extra chapters because from books 1 to book 13 of the series, you get 1 chapter for another extra bonus story for that. And I decided that I will just look for an audiobook of the 13th or like the 14th story basically, of the Stitch Rate, and just listen to the audiobook of that instead of like opening book 1, read the chapter, and then opening book 2, read the chapter. That's annoying. So yeah, we have Prankster for the series with short books. It's like around 300 pages, 100 pages per story, I guess, and it's going to go by very, very fast. Next, we are just at number 4, and I'm going to dig a little bit to the very bottom here that's hiding. And our prompt is carry over 1 book from Q1 TBR, and I have to choose a series from the Q1 TBR, which right now I'm not sure if there are. No, that's not the page, it's this page. So oh, I actually have 2 series here that I could choose from, which are both start of a new series. The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and then Artemis Fowl by Eowyn Colfer. Artemis Fowl has been one of those middle grade books that I've always wanted to read, but didn't have the time nor the energy for when I was growing up, because I was like a Percy Jackson and also 39 Clues sort of kid. I did not really read Artemis Fowl. So I might just, I don't know, I really want to read The Naturals actually, even though Jennifer Lynn Barnes has been a miss for me, especially with the Inheritance Game series, but they did say that The Naturals is better. So I'll go with Artemis Fowl for this one. I have been keeping Artemis Fowl like at the back of my mind for quite a long time now. It's been years, like you could say like 20 years maybe. So Artemis Fowl for from Q1 TBR. There we go. And then just going to choose the next book. The next book that we have here is a popular series to continue. Popular series to continue. I actually am debating on whether I will do Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson, or should I do Court of Silver Flames. I do have a prompt here that is a romantasy, but I don't have a prompt for like fantasy sci-fi. Oh, is Mistborn fantasy sci-fi? Well, maybe it's just fantasy. But yeah, I do have a romantasy prompt in here that I might accidentally choose. So I think I'm just going to go with Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson for this prompt. I would love to go through Brandon Sanderson's books one of these days. Probably one of my soft goals for this lifetime is to read as much Brandon Sanderson books as I can, because I feel like I've missed out on such a robust world such as the Cosmere because I did not start early. And since I started Stress of the Emerald Sea last year, and this year starting Mistborn, I really enjoy the writing style, and I hope that I'm able to go through a lot of his backlists. Another carry over one book from Q1 TBR, and it's going to be The Naturals, because that's the only series that is left. I did not think that I will be able to like pull both of the carry over one book. So it's going to be The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Don't know actually what it is about. From Q1 TBR. I'm going to talk more about these books in future videos, more details if I ever pick them out for a particular month's TBR, or I have read them, just so that this video is going to already be super long. So I'm just going to be editing like the cover of the book on screen while I talk about a particular book, and then we're going to move on. From your 26 before 2026 list. Oh dear, here we go. What other series that are here left? So we have choices. So of course, The Tainted Cup and The Naturals are off the list. The Housemaid. Oh wait, no, I am mistaken. That is not the series. Wait, is The Housemaid the series? Now I forgot. But in any case, I don't feel like I want to read that as of the moment. So our options will be Gideon Ninth or I believe The Thousandth Floor is also a series. So we're having those two options. And my brain is going to Gideon the Ninth, actually. We're having a lot of very popular books, actually, which I am pretty pleased about. So Gideon the Ninth, I think, is like necromancy, I guess. A lot of people that I watch on YouTube actually has read Gideon Ninth and loved it. So I'm going to try it. This is before 2026. So I'm going to try it. I might enjoy it. I really like those sorts of fantasies. And yeah, we'll see. So there's only 3 prompts left for the series. Oh. And we got the romantasy. So I have 2 options. I either I'm going to read Onyx Storm, Rebecca Yarros's 3rd book in the, what do you call that, Empyrean series, or I'm going to finish ACOTAR with Court of Silver Flames. And while I was writing the prompt, I was thinking of continuing with Onyx Storm, just like a turn off your brain and read this book sort of situation. But I think I'm going to just go with Court of Silver Flames, just to finish out the series. And basically our goal is to finish as much series as we can. And even though I'm not even sure if Onyx Storm is the last book of the Empyreans, but I do know that Silver Flames is the last book of ACOTAR. So at least I am positive that I am contributing to our goal, which is to finish the series. So Court of Silver Flames it is. I'm actually pretty excited about this because my favorite character, I guess, in ACOTAR has got to be Cassian, if I'm being honest. And Cassian and Nesta, my god, I am actually excited to, I have an audiobook of it, which is, I tend to listen to romantasy more than read because, I don't know, I can shut off my brain when I listen. And if you don't know me, I don't really necessarily gravitate towards romance in general. So I do put in stars because I do have a goal wherein I want to read books that is out of my comfort zone, and as I've said in various videos, that romance is out of my comfort zone and I don't gravitate towards romance that much. So I put stars in those series or books wherein it has a romance aspect to it that is not necessarily, what do you call this? Like, I'm not gravitating towards it. Except maybe for Ruthless Vows. I don't know. I'm not sure if I count that because wartime romance I can get by. I don't know why. Like romantasy and romance sci-fi, meh. I'm YA romance, meh. But when it comes to like romance during wartime or historical fiction with subplot of romance, I could get by. I don't know why. But anyway, moving on. Number 9, we have finish a series. So speaking of what do you call this? Letters of Enchantment. We have, my option is going to be Ruthless Vows because I actually want to read it this March. So, am I going to read it this March? Because I still have a bunch of, like, I could talk about this. This is my TBR for the month of March. And I have been reading on and off The Familiar, The Plotters, as well as The Best Minds. And I'm listening to the audiobook of Secret History as of the moment. I only have finished Jade City so far, and it is like the 6th of March. So I still have time. However, The Best Minds is a nonfiction, and it's pretty long. The Shadow of What Was Lost is also a pretty chunky book. The Familiar, I am not really in the mood to read. I'm not sure why. It's hard to get into. I don't know if I'm going to just DNF it or not. So I'm not sure if I'm able to just squeeze in Ruthless Vows for March. And then I'm just, what series I'm going to finish if I'm not going to finish Ruthless Vows? I don't think I'm going to choose Empyrean. What else? Yeah, I think I'm just going to put Ruthless Vows here and cross it off if I'm going to read it in March. I'm not sure. This is me filming super early in the month. That's not finish a series. That's why I don't have really a choice in the matter. So we only have one. Let's shake this properly. We only have one of the white paper prompts left, and we're going to choose this one. It's a very long prompt. A series or continuation you have an audiobook of. So I do have an audiobook of the Empyrean again, and I have the audiobook for Jade War. which I just finished Jade City of. And when I was writing down 50% into the audiobook of Jade City, I was thinking that I will not prioritize the Greenbone Saga because I'm not really that interested in it. But when I finished book 1, it was actually quite interesting. It was an interesting plot or like a plot twist to the end. So I might just put Jade War here. Should I put Jade War or should I put Onyx Storm? I'm just going to put Onyx Storm just so that I could finish with it. If I'm not going to put it down, I might not listen to it, or I might not continue with it until like maybe the end of the year. So continue with audiobook, because if I'm not going to pick it up, I might not pick it up until the end of the year. So we are done with all of like series related books. We're going to, I guess we're going to alternate 5 for the green ones and 5 for the purple ones. I'm going to start with the purple one so that I am like decision paralysis as of the moment. So the purple prompts are specific books that I'm either excited for, are part of my 26 books before 2026, or just books that I randomly have the ebook copy of. Silent Patient. Okay, I actually started this book 2 days ago. I accidentally, I misheard my friend talking about a book, and I thought she wanted me to listen to the audiobook of The Silent Patient, but it turns out she wanted me to listen to the audiobook of Donut Hart's Secret History. So I was like, oh, I already started Silent Patient. So I stopped it and transferred to Secret History. So why not just add The Silent Patient to my TBR? It feels short. I think it's an account of the patient. I'm not sure. And I heard that it's like an unreliable narrator. So that's the first purple prompt, or a purple book, purple paper for a book. We're going to go with a green prompt. A book from your favorite author's backlist. So here we are with, should I do a Dark Vault, or should I just continue with the Cassidy Blake series? What's this Cassidy Blake series book 2 called? So Cassidy Blake book 2 by V. Schwab is Tunnel of Bones. I'm just going to continue the series and hopefully finish it, because I know that it's a trilogy and I am still going to read through the backlist of V. Schwab. Might as well read a book that not only continues a series, but it also is kind of short because it is YA. From fave author. So yeah, not my first choice, but at least thinking about it, I'm thinking of completing goals right now. Like, we are building a TBR to help us complete these goals and set us up for success. So the second purple, which is a specific book, Night of the Mannequins. Night of the Mannequins is, I believe, a horror that I have added in my 26 books in 2026. Don't know what else it is about, if I'm being honest. So if I end up choosing it for a month to read, then we'll know what it is about. Green prompt. A bingeable book. What is a bingeable book? Why did I write this? So a bingeable book for me is probably a book that I can read in a day. That's how I think about it. And a bingeable book is supposed to be something that's good and light and probably YA, because it's easy to read. I will look for a book that is those things in my TBR. So I found a book that I am quite interested in. However, the good news is that the pro for this book is that it's bingeable. It's 189 pages. It is, of course, it's short. It adds to the goal of reading translated books, which is one of my goals for 2025 as well, to read 10 translated books, and this is translated from Japanese. The con, it's a beginning of another series. So I'm like finishing series, but also starting series in place of them, which is also fine. It's fine. So this is the Honjin Murders by Seishi Yokomizu. And the translator is Louise Hill Kawai. It is the first of the Detective Kosuke Keniichi books. And I know that there are 4 books in this. And I think I started this already last year. I need to start from the beginning as well, because I've already forgotten. But I saw this in one of like my friend and I's book browsing of like book shopping, book browsing, because we didn't buy anything. But I saw this and it looked pretty interesting. However, the cover is another beige white or beige black and red color scheme, and this is going to be another repetition color for my book blanket. I'm not really sure, so it's another one of the cons, but it's fine. It's fine. We're just going to put it here. Bingeable book. 189 pages. Who knows? I might finish it in a day. It's harder to read as well because it's like a when was this published? 1946. It was first published 1946, so it's like a classic Japanese book. So it's harder a bit to read, but it's short, so we're fine. Purple Prom. On the 15th book, we're reading The Bad Ones. I do know that there's like a crying angel in the cover. So, The Bad Ones by Melissa Albert. I searched for the book on Goodreads and there are a lot of books that are titled The Bad Ones. So I had to specify which author it is. And this is sort of like another small town missing persons cases, disappearance cases, a little bit of probably folklore. And yeah, I'm pretty much excited for this. There are a lot of books that I've read over the past couple of days, or months rather, that have been like small town. They are blaming like entities around them that makes like bad people, bad children disappear. Turns out there are bad people in this society that's causing it, just using the folklore as a means to an end, something like that. So yeah, another book that I'm actually looking forward to reading. Now we have 16th book, which is a prom, the book with flowers on the cover. So I do have my floral set up here for spring. Now I have to look for a book with flowers on the cover. So I have another choice between Don't Let the Forest In or Pride and Premeditation. And I'm thinking that I might lean a little bit to Pride and Premeditation because Don't Let the Forest In, I really want to read it for quarter 4 rather, for October. And it's going to be one of the books that I want to read for my birthday because I've been looking forward to it. I wanted to read it last year, however, it was published or released after my birthday, so I'm going to reserve that book for another reading club, and I'm going to put down Pride and Premeditation for our flowery book cover. So 17th, we're going to pull from purple again. Almost done, almost finished with this video. The Husbands. The Husbands, I have already started again, but I paused from it for a bit. But it is quite an interesting premise of a book wherein every time the husband of our main character goes up to their attic, a different guy comes down, and somehow all of their life, like her life has changed, like the person changes in her wedding photos, and all of the memories of her friends and family knows that this guy is her husband basically, and every time they go up and come down it's a different person. So it's a matter of like, when do you stop making them go up there to like roll your dice and see if the next one might be a better match for you? I don't know, but it's sort of like an interesting premise for that. So we're going to pull this one for the 18th book, a book with a colorful cover. So I wrote this down because I wanted a colorful cover for my book blanket, because I'm doing Granny Squares book blanket with the colors of the book covers as each square once I finish reading them. And I have been doing a bunch of black, white, red because I've been reading a lot of mystery thrillers, horror books, and I want something that's colorful and not maybe red and beige and white, those sorts of color combinations. I want something that's maybe pink, maybe something that's a little bit pastel or orange. And so far I'm scrolling through my list of books and I might do this. The Island of Missing Trees by Elif Shafak. Elif Shafak has been the first book that I've read from her, 10 minutes 38 seconds in the Strange World, was a 6-star book. 6-star book being the ones that I really loved, or something that really resonated with me. made me cry, something like that. And the book cover is navy blue. I do have a lot of blue as well, but at least it's something that is a refreshing sort of change to the book cover color scheme for my book blanket. So, Island of Missing Trees, colorful cover. Okay, so we are going to pull for the last book that is book specific, purple prompt or purple paper. I keep saying purple prompt. We have, oh, this is the last book that I wrote down. I was scrolling through my Fable app to see what book that I wanted to add to the list, just so that I have options. This one is the Paleontologist. It's like a murder mystery sort of book, wherein the curator of this museum went to the place where his sister was abducted years ago and found something, some sort of secret, whatever. I don't know what got dug up, but it sounded interesting, so I wanted to add it to the list. I really love murder mystery, crime thrillers, horror, so it works out. And the last one for the book prompt, a book you are looking forward to. So give me a minute. Thank you for that minute. And the book that I chose is A Lonely Broadcast. This book has been in my TBR for a little while, in the beginning of 2025, and I really wanted to read it for its like pitch of being a broadcast radio, but also some sort of a watchtower situation. Like, the things they broadcast are probably not just gossip, but also something true that they have seen. And it's like very mysterious, and I don't really understand why there is this bird that has a vendetta over the main character. And the synopsis said that it is like, what do you call this? It's comedic, but also horrific. So we'll see. I'm pretty excited to read that one. It's quite short, and maybe it's also a bingeable book that I am looking forward to. So yeah, we have finally built our TBR for quarter 2. I'm pretty excited actually with all of these books. Not gonna lie, even with the romantasy and some of the books that here are like not that much, but I'm quite pleased with how it's a mix of things, but all of it is part of like my digital TBR at least. And yeah, I am looking forward to it. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have read any of the books here, do let me know down in the comments if you have enjoyed them, what you think of them, and what you guys are reading for quarter 2 of the year. It's already quarter 2, and it's super quick year so far. And yeah, thank you so much for hanging out again, and I will see you in the next video. So until then guys, take care and bye.